Hello everybody and welcome to another update video. My name is Ursa. As is tradition, we have a game playing in the background which hopefully you'll enjoy. I'll come back to that in a little bit, but you can sort of watch that and see what's going on whilst I natter on about nothing. I also wanted to quickly apologise for interrupting the current TSL series. You're just going to have to wait an extra day to get your next dose of Teddy goodness because, well, being honest, I'm catching up on filming at the moment, and this is a very easy way of me just filling in some content and also serving a decent purpose because I like to keep everybody up to date with what I'm doing. So, you know, win-win. I was having a look back at the last month and some of the content we've been putting up, and it's been really fun the last couple of months actually. We've had some really good TSL games which have been relatively entertaining, some challenge games that have come through. Really appreciate the support everybody's given the stuff that's gone up. It's been really well received actually. The last couple of months has been fantastic. So yeah, hope you've been enjoying and more to come. Especially the TSL games actually. It's been amazing to see how engaged you've all been watching these series, and I think we've been experimenting with some of the rules and some of the ways we've been putting the games together, but turning the game modes off has been a really decent thing actually. I really have seen an improvement from the AI and how it's been coping, shall we say, with Civ 6 as a game. We've spoken before about how adding different game modes into the game can really suppress the AI's ability, especially late game, to think. So Monopolies and Corporations, for instance, is a fantastic mode that lets you put industries and corporations into the game and get huge tourism boosts, but for whatever reason the AI then forgets about improving luxuries, and that is a real disadvantage for the AI. And Drastic Ages, or Dramatic Ages for instance, is a great example of it being a really fun concept of you losing cities and fighting through cities and all of that, but then the AI will just capitulate and fall into itself continually. So, you know, it's been fun to turn those game modes off for a little bit. I've noticed certainly a increase in difficulty that Civ has been providing me. Certainly some series have been harder than others, but well, we'll continue to play with the rules and play with the starts, but I think we've been enjoying what we've been doing so far. Especially the Gaul game. Looking back at that was absolutely horrific. We were playing TSL France and Eleanor start, and Gaul were not letting me get away with that. I've put that save file on Discord, plug. Always like to plug Discord, but that is on Discord if you want to have a look at it. There is a fancy little colourful Discord achievement you can pick up, or a role that you can pick up if you can somehow survive the start. I'll warn you, it's horrible, but go and have a look at that if you'd like. Now, one thing I've been trying to do over the last month is keep the community posts going. You'll have noticed those when you're looking at YouTube, scrolling through the homepage, those silly polls that pop up and interrupt your day. Well, welcome to the algorithm and all the things that content creators have to do to keep that one going. It's a good way, in all seriousness, for me to interact with the audience generally, that's you, and see what you want to watch, really. It's a good way of me saying, hey, do you want to watch this country or this one, or do you want me to simply put a guide up or a challenge? And I'm trying to do more of those polls to keep everybody engaged. It's a really good, I don't know, I just enjoy that interaction. And I did just want to say as well that Discord, the general community of patrons and Discord generally, have been doing a fantastic job of being a sounding board for some of the crazier ideas I've had. I have this huge piece of paper, this A4 piece of paper, which I've actually now converted. I've gone to the 21st century. Actually, no, probably not even that far. I've actually put it onto a Word document now. So I have all of these ideas and I should go through them at some point. Some of them are really random, really random, and others I think could make good videos and a lot in between. But the Discord community generally is a fantastic sounding board for me to make sure that the stuff they put out is really good. So thank you again to those people. Looking specifically over the content we did recently, the Alexander One City Challenge game we're putting up, where I'm trying to do a domination victory with only one city. Well, I have been informed by you via a community post that we should give it another try, and I am practicing that off camera at the moment, so it may take a couple of weeks for me to get back to that challenge, but I am going to pick it up. I've got a few different tactics and strategies and how do I put this, cheesy ways to make the game a little bit more doable that might hopefully push us to a direction where that challenge is achievable. I think that game really drilled home how difficult that challenge was, and I think there are things we can do. So I'm practicing that off camera. That will appear again. Off camera, I've also been practicing 2 other games. I've mentioned this in a couple of community posts before, but I like the idea of a mega campaign where I start in one game and fill in a narrative. So for instance, we play Civ and we play, I was thinking recently, the France game, Eleanor game was a good example where we kind of took over the world diplomatically and culturally and just were amazing. What would that look like if we then left Earth? So I've been practicing Stellaris, trying to get myself to the Grand Admiral difficulty level. I'm almost there, I'm doing it. It's just a little bit of a learning curve for me. Stellaris is a crazy complicated game. I'm also looking back at Beyond Earth. That was a really, really fun game. I generally wasn't as critically acclaimed as the other Civs, but I really enjoyed it and there was some really fun mechanics in that. So I'm looking to practice both of those games and potentially form some mega campaigns. Now, the style of upload and video that I'll be doing on those particular games will be a little bit different. I don't think I'm planning on putting full series of those games up. It might be one-offs or extended let's plays in like one longer video, or maybe I could put those things onto the back of other videos. I don't know. How I do that at the moment is still kind of a little bit up in the air, but something to keep an eye on. I've been doing some practice and you never know, I might dip my toe in just spreading out from Civ 6 just a little bit, just a touch. One thing we also have been doing is shorts. Now, you'll either have seen them all because YouTube seems to be flogging these to absolutely anybody who looks at YouTube on a phone. I'm so sorry for the standard of short that seems to be thrown at people who look at YouTube on phones, but we've been doing our best to jump in that algorithm bandwagon, hey! And we've been putting together these short videos. Now, they've been really genuinely well received from the stats and the views and everything that we're looking at these sides. People watch them, which is really cool, and they spread them, and they're really helping to draw more of an audience into the channel generally. So if you see a short and you see Ursa Ryan on it, go and give it a like, because it really, really helps to sort of plug those a little bit more. I also need more ideas for shorts. Now, basically the idea is that if you've seen something on the channel, roughly, I mean, it's a little bit flexible, but between 30 and 60 seconds long, and you think that out of context of the video that it comes with, it'll be funny, or interesting, or entertaining in some way, out of context being the really important thing to re-clarify, because obviously it doesn't have the rest of the series around it. But if you can find something like that, then let us know. We're still collecting all of the ideas. There's a place in Discord to submit those ideas, and we like to give shout outs at the end of them. We've got a good batch of them so far, but we're always looking for more. Speaking of things to come up and new ideas, I'm always looking for ideas that are good fun challenge games or funny series or anything like that. I get a lot of submissions sent this way. I do read every comment, so please continue to chuck them at me. I'm generally using Patreon a little bit as a way of helping me to create the content and planning the months out. So I'm sorry in advance for just absolutely inundating you with video ideas and trying to sift through the good ones from that, but always feel free to let me know about good video ideas. You never know. I may end up picking something up. I do have one particular call to action, which is if you are aware of a good mod, or even if you have the time to put together a funny or good map that I can play, then do let me know on Discord. We keep an entire thread for sort of Civ 6 modding, for help with people who are trying it themselves, but also mod ideas for other people. If you see something like that and you want me to have a go at it, do let me know. It's always good fun to find something like the Settlers from Ancestral Hall mod. Now that was really, really good fun. Anything like that. I'll be putting community posts to help me decide what I'm going to be playing. I'll be using Patreon as a resource, but I'm thinking we're probably going to end up doing some of these mega campaigns. We're going to be looking to do more TSL because I love it. It's why would you not play on a huge Earth or huge Europe or whatever it might be. I've also found some more specific maps to look at continents, which could be really, really fun, like doing an African game, for instance, or a South American game. So that could be really entertaining. I'm going to be revisiting the One City Challenge. I think that Alex might possibly be the one to pick, or maybe I've got some other strategies to have a look at. Equally, I've got my ideas and eyes on some challenges and mods that I've picked out, which should be really good fun. I did want to say that the support that I've received generally from the channel over the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks has been insane. The views are incredible. The subscribers are incredible. The comments, I'm receiving so many comments from everybody on the videos, and I read every single one and I try and reply to as many as I can. It's been amazing. Thank you so much for all the support. It really is helping me tangibly show my stuff to more people, and it's individual unique viewers as well. That's the big difference. The more you all interact with the videos, it's showing them to all kinds of people that have never seen my stuff before that might be related to other Civ 6 or other strategy streamers and YouTubers and all this sort of stuff. So thank you so much for all the support. It really does make a difference. If you haven't subscribed, it's a free and very easy way of supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. You can always go away later if you need to, that's fine. But I really do need to thank yet again everybody that subscribes and supports on Patreon, because that support is just incredible, and it really is the difference between me being able to do this as a hobby and something more serious. It really is so helpful. So thank you so much, everybody on Patreon. I really hope that you feel like you're getting good value and you're supporting something good. I try and throw as much stuff your way as possible. If you did fancy supporting the channel in a bit more of a tangible way, then Patreon's always there. But I would like to always say it's never required. I never want to push it too hard, because honestly, if you just want to support the channel and you don't have any money to give away, which is quite normal by the way, it's a huge commitment, just liking and subscribing, like, I know everyone drills on about it, but it's the algorithm, it's how YouTube does things, it's how it decides who gets shown what. And the more engagement in the video, the more it gets, sent to other people. So that's all I can ask for, and I'm so grateful for everybody. Thank you very much. Well, now I've flogged my own content too much, I should really explain what's going on in the background, because I was filming this, and this game ended up being way more interesting than I thought it would be. It's just a Gran Colombia game. I went for a Domination victory. It's on one of those little mirror maps, 4-player maps. They're really cool, these maps generally. Like, if you ever want to have a go at them and you fancy a smaller map, there's an element of reflection symmetry in these maps. They're really cool. So like north to south and east to west, there'll be clones of itself. So everybody gets a unique start, but each start is the same. Does that make sense? All 4 people have the same start, but it's different each time. I think I make sense, roughly. But this particular map was really interesting because it was a very big continent. Everybody had a lot of space, but all 4 capitals ended up being really close to the center of the map. It was a really interesting mechanic, and it did make me think, actually, in terms of fun maps, that was a really neat idea. Normally your capitals are ages away from each other and you have to fight and wade through enemy cities to sort of beat into their empire and eventually seize the capital. I was thinking, this is actually quite a nice variation. You can have as big an empire as you want, but your capital is always on the front line. I don't know, it just tickled me, and I ended up winning this game way quicker than I thought I was going to. It really did fly by very quickly. There was a large part of me that really wishes I'd upped the difficulty a little bit, because I often don't film on deity. If I'm just relaxed playing a game in the background, I'll just be playing an easier difficulty. People always say, oh, do you play difficulty all the time? No, I really don't. I think this game may have been on Prince, just because I forgot to change the difficulty and I was like, yeah, sure, this seems really fun. Yeah, really neat map. I really liked this. I might find something similar and play a deity game on it, because really good fun. Multiplayer, I bet, would be really entertaining in this format as well. Sometimes with multiplayer, the games get too big and they drag on for too long because everyone's empires are about 7 million tiles away from each other, but this would be really interesting because everybody would be right in the middle of the map. Yeah, just wish it had been harder, really. But there we go. Cheeky little update video. I hope everybody's doing well. What a crazy world we live in at the moment. Please be safe. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye! And finally, a very special shout out goes to Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Matthew Wilkinson, Salty Tech, Midnight Oil, Trevor Askby, Paul Coffey, Senjik, Kroger Brand Trail Mix, Alex Noob, Cinnamon Beard, and Portland for all of your support on Patreon, as well as everybody else who comments and likes. Thank you!